Hello, everybody. Welcome, Rosie and Corina, psych investigators.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello, hello. So, Corina and I have been talking for a long time, and so as we were talking, um, we came up. You know what came up with something that she had. We were talking about that telling the truth, and somehow we got to the subject of Rosie O'Donnell. And then I remembered, Corina remembered that she had said something. And I said, "Oh, Corina, there was something I meant to tell you about this because there were some interesting comments in those days." Because Corina had mentioned, I don't remember exactly under, it was a different topic. And then she popped up for you.
Yeah.
And then we went to, and I said, no, it's true that she may have information about this whole Trump Epstein thing. And that's what Corina is going to talk about. Okay, but before, let's do the protection, Corina.
Yes.
Okay, I'd
Yes.
like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and only the good, and so it is. Okay, so go ahead, Corina. Let's talk about the Rosie O'Donnell and what Rosie O'Donnell may
Yeah.
know about. Keep talking. I'm going to add
Okay.
the title here as
Actually, I think this is a good lesson too, to listen to spirit and trust what they tell you. I think that's
Mhm.
what a good lesson for this story. Because a couple weeks ago when I was on with Rosie, we were talking about whatever we were talking about. We pretty much were going to end the conversation and call it a night. And Rosie said, "Do you have anything else to say?" And I was very hesitant. I kept going, she's like, "No, come on, you have something to say." And I just said, "It's weird, but Rosie O'Donnell's coming up for me that she moved to out of the country because she had this information." And when we ended, I felt really strange saying that because it was came out of the blue and it was random. And sometimes your ego jumps in and goes, "Why did you say that? That was so weird." But I'm glad I did, because we were talking today and all of a sudden we were talking about this information coming pouring out and where it's all going to come from. And I had talked about it yesterday on my channel, about this explosion of information. And I see people with their hands on the phones and people ready to send and speak. And she came up again. And so I told Rosie that, and I said, I felt so weird saying that, but here she is again. She's popping up. And Rosie's like, "Wait, I got to tell you this." And so as Rosie was looking for this comment, I was telling her a little bit more about that night after I spoke and said Rosie O'Donnell. Spirit, because I felt so weird about it. So Spirit came in and said, "Why do you think Trump hates her so bad? Why do you think he goes after her? He only goes after people that know the truth or have the truth on him."
Mhm.
So then I saw a conversation. I happen to know I'm just going to say about one of her, Rosie O'Donnell's friends. So Spirit took me to this conversation where I saw both of them speaking to each other and her saying, "I got to get out of the country. I have got to get out of the country. I got to leave." And by the way, saying all this, Rosie and I did check to make sure we were allowed to talk about this subject because I would never put anybody in jeopardy. So, anyway, she felt like she needed to leave the country because she knew he was coming after her. And so Spirit showed me that conversation that night. And I had forgotten to tell Rosie that too. So as she's pulling all this stuff up, I'm telling her this. So we did find, when we, she found the comment, typed it in, and sure enough, information came up. Oh, because I also said that night when I did say it, we were talking about the whole Epstein stuff. And it came to me in Spirit afterwards that I don't think it's the Epstein. I think it's something to do with The Apprentice. So sure enough, when it came up today, when we were talking about it, it was The Apprentice stuff. Like, she knows information and she was digging into his Teen USA stuff. This is all for entertainment purposes only. She was digging into his Teen USA stuff and was digging deep and finding this information, and she was trying to protect the children. And, Rosie did pick that up too today, that's what
So,
he's afraid of. Go ahead, Rosie.
so just for context, because when Corina mentioned today, randomly we talked about, oh, Rosie O'Donnell, and I said, oh, I meant to tell you, Corina, because people left some interesting comments that in fact she may have actually had information, and that's when I looked it up, and it showed that the whole thing with her and Trump was that she was it had come out that one of the contestants in one of those pageants was abusing alcohol or something like that. And then she was outraged by it. And Rosie O'Donnell, as far as I remember, she used to have a TV show I've watched back in the day. And I remember her whole thing is she loves kids. This is something is undeniable. She has adopted a lot of kids. She's very pro kids and of course children's rights. And then it became clear, when knowing what we know now, that the reason why he was so against her then is because he didn't want anybody to look into the whole pageant thing, because then they would find, right? This is the thing. He wanted no scrutiny into this pageant situation that he was involved in. And and by the way, the thing that I feel like he kicked her out of because she was working. Remember, she used to be on The View. Right. And she stopped being on The View. I think he has something to do with that. He got her kicked out of The View.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't make so
exactly, because there's too many people around that she could spill the beans to. He tried to destroy her, and think about it. He does that to people that know the truth. He always goes after people that know the information. So he went after her hard to the point where she had to leave the country.
That's right. And I was telling Corina about this, long story, like the fact that she was that when she realized it was a huge deal when she started. I feel like I saw her getting followed or like getting weird phone calls in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
That told her the guy is not just a random like weirdo business guy. There's something crime related here.
Yeah.
And now that we know that this is talked about more and more, it's like she's going to be vindicated because she knew there was something. And I see that she has a nose for knowing when kids are being mistreated, when there's abuse and stuff like that. So she knew there was something wrong. Like the reaction didn't make sense. And it's saying that she has a person I can see, because I can understand her personality. She has such a big mouth. Like, yeah, I can relate to that, right? Like, she's like, what? Like, get me. Like, she will say things, and that can sometimes be like, in that context, imagine you're like giant, like audience, family oriented show, whatever, right?
Right.
And it could have been misconstrued, or it could be like, oh, we don't, you know what I mean? So it became a problem for her more than it should have been. But it's because, and this is the thing, this is what's so sad, is like, these men knew, right? It's not like nobody knew that Trump was shady and that he was, and nobody, the whole thing, what is there? It's like, and it's even, I feel like those, to be honest, I think they do it even without, some of them, of course, are prompted by Trump's goons to do it.
Yeah.
Most of them just do it naturally. Like, oh, let's cover up for the man. Let's assume that the woman is always like making it, or whatever. It doesn't matter what it's just, it was an accident. Like, there was always an excuse, like always, right? And
she had a big mouth. She wasn't afraid to speak up.
That's right. And like all the things he said, to grab them by the whatever, right? Yeah. All those things. It's like there's always and the guy, whenever October or whenever he was still in court. He had to listen. He was like, all these testimonies against him. He's a criminal, and oh my God, he got a pass for all this time, and now, and I see she's going to be vindicated. Right? So
yeah. I agree. And people like that are going to be vindicated. They finally get their time in the sun, because this is coming crashing down. He can't run and hide anymore. This is too big. This is the part that's going to bring him down.
Right. So wow, Corina, very, very interesting. So just
always listen to what Spirit tells you, because I didn't really want to say that night, but I did. It forced. I was meant to say it. So trust what spirit gives you, even at times you don't want to say it or you don't want to think that it's true. Because I felt almost like my ego was going, why'd you say that? That was too weird. But here we go.
Wow,
It was accurate.
wow. Okay, very interesting. All right, so now we're going to this new subjects, and things are moving so fast that like a lot happened. So it's interesting. I was telling Corina earlier that I did a video late at night yesterday about and doing Ghislaine Maxwell, and I had seen that she's like, Donald, do you know who I am? I'm willing to say that I'd never seen you before. I've never seen you at a party, but in exchange for that, this is what I want from you. So this was the video. I mean, not just this, but and it turns out that it was just like that. She actually today. So let's look at it because it's really like it's so interesting that she feels this is why she's a. I mean, we know that she's a horrible criminal, right?
Yeah.
But her attitude of like she thinks that she's above the law, that like she could do anything. And I don't want to say that she's not worse than Jeffrey Epstein. She's just a different brand, but it's just very, very creepy. And I was remembering that she actually she sued the victim Virginia Giuffre for defamation. Remember, she's so
yes.
and she lost, right? So, but here,
monster. What a monster.
So she makes she makes these demands, and it was turned down. So that's so. Just before I go back to this, just tell you, Corina. I said so. Yeah, on yesterday video, I saw that Trump has a, as you say, what is it called?
The glitching.
The glitch. That's like he glitches when he sees that she's not like they're not accepting her thing, and then he may in fact. That's what I saw yesterday. But let's just read through this quickly to see because it's so crazy. Her demands. Okay, so. Maxwell's lawyer said in a letter that Maxwell would be willing to testify before Congress if she received formal immunity alongside other requests. So that, for example, she could make up stuff about people and she'll never be prosecuted for it. Like, crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, so here, Maxwell lawyer said, if Maxwell were to receive clemency, she would be willing and eager to testify openly and honestly in public before Congress in Washington, D.C., her lawyers wrote. Otherwise, she would assert her Fifth Amendment rights and decline to testify. But a spokesperson for committee chairman James Comer said the committee would respond to the letter soon, will not consider granting congressional immunity for her testimony. So they said no, right?
Yeah.
So that's because it's so egregious that this woman, she's really a hardcore type criminal.
It is.
Oh yeah, well, if I can, so she could just fabricate whatever and say whatever she wants about anybody. So,
yeah. And you know that would happen. You know that would happen. Yeah.
So this is where we are. So, and James Comey is a shady guy. Remember, he's like, so this is, so.
Yeah.
So what's next now? So we'll see what is next now? What is, because she has yesterday's thing. She thinks she has all the cards and she may actually have all the cards. So what is she going to do next? What is Trump going to do? What is she going to do? Let's see.
I still get that big picture of her in the minefield because there's nowhere to step. There's explosions all around her, no matter which direction she goes in. She doesn't, it's funny. I don't feel like she has all the cards. I don't feel like neither one of them have all the cards. They're trying to get something out of each other that they can't get.
Yeah, but I see. It's interesting. Let's see here. Actually, how's the client? Okay. So they decline her testimony, right? So then let's see. Sorry, can I have to?
No, you're fine.
Find a place to paste this. Okay. Decline. Formal. What was the name of it? Formal immunity. What's next for her and Trump? Okay. So then, okay. So I saw this that she is. She has a boss. She's like, oh gosh. And she has all these boxes of stuff. And she just, hello, darling, just send it to the papers. Time to send it to the papers. I'm going to rot in prison anyway, might as well. So
Yeah.
she decides to just, I'd say that's not talking, it's just giving evidence because that's evidence is more powerful than talking, photos, videos, even. So, so is she? But then I'm like, is she not afraid that could they try to do this to her? What this is the other thing. Could they try to kill her or something like that? Or
Absolutely. That's why I think she has to release it all, because once she releases it, what what good is coming after her?
oh, okay, okay, I see.
So it's almost that's she's in a minefield everywhere she turns. She doesn't have any good choices.
Hmm. That's right because and I see this once she realizes that she can't get out of prison. That's when she's like, oh, you know what? If I'm going down, so will everybody else.
Right. Right.
So okay, so that makes
She's
sense.
not going to do anybody any favors
Hmm.
because she's the same. She's a narcissist just like them. So it
Yeah.
has to be good for her. And she's
Hmm.
not going to go any other direction, but she's going to lose in every direction she goes in.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I see her being very old, like dying at an old age. Like she's not gonna, and still in a uniform of some sort, like
Yeah.
prison type.
Yeah.
Oh, because they transferred. That's the other thing that happened today. This is how she was transferred to a low security prison. Can you believe it? Like that's, in other words, kind of
Yeah.
angling towards something. Like this happened also with Manafort before I think Trump pardoned him. Like I don't remember. Remember he was in prison and
Yeah.
so but then so then so that's her. Is Trump gonna? I don't see. I see that they're like. I don't think they let him pardon her. Oh, but the other thing is this: if he pardons her, then New York State can arrest her. Like she's not. It's not like it's not how it is. It's saying, and then
Yeah.
she can't evoke the Fifth Amendment. It's in a way, it's worse for her if she gets a pardon because she has to talk
Right. Right.
and she
Exactly.
can be sued. It's saying it's in a way she's safer in prison. It's saying actually.
Hmm. She is. She's safer there. She's not safe. She's not safe. That's why I think she has to, at some point, spill the beans because that's the only way she will be safe. Otherwise, she's going to be looking over her shoulder till she's old. She has too much information.
Wow, that's
There's too
right.
many people that would want to take her out.
Wow. Well, I even see, I see Prince Andrew trying to see if he can help her somehow. But I think he's because he's been disgraced by the royal family also. Like
Yeah.
he lost his title or something. So it's not like it's not like people, it's like she's just such a so okay, so then what will Trump what's next with I see that he's just derailing completely. He
Yeah.
can't focus on anything now.
No, because this is his downfall. This is the narcissistic downfall. When you start messing with the image and all that horrific stuff comes out, that's what takes him down.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So
And
what's
when it doesn't work, that he can't see, that's the thing. It's like reading this energy of him wanting to pardon her. Of course he does. He wants to do anything he can to get her to shut her mouth. But you know what? Not even any of that's going to work. It just doesn't work in their favors because there's no angle. That's what I'm saying. There's no angles they can go for. It's just not going to work. Everything's going to be exposed no matter what they do. So no matter what they do, don't worry. It's going to get exposed.
wow, wow, wow. Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's right. So that's the story, like, and wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So, wow, and
Well,
then
she's right where she deserves to be.
okay. Oh, and then so they're releasing stories. This is just before I think right around the time I think it's right before we started talking. And the other thing they said is that they released the video. You know how like they Trump had first released some video that was missing, this something, and then apparently they found that it was leaked. Like it was
Yeah.
leaked that she uh that the video there was like so all this stuff is and he can't. It's right. He can't. It's like everything is hitting him. He cannot for the life of
Yeah.
him, stop it. No.
No, and that's what it feels like. The minute he says, "Oh, I didn't, do this," bam, it comes out. a picture or something with him in it. It's like the minute he just says, I didn't, it shows proof that he did. He just can't get out of this. He just can't
Mhm.
get out of it. It's a
Wow, wow.
snowball that's really starting to pick up speed, man.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. So, wow, very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Trying to like, wow. So,
Which is good. This is
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So, okay. So, anything, did you have other, because let me know, Gwen, if you have other subjects here. I'm just going to have a quick look at the Financial Times. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't really look at anything else what's going on.
okay. Just quickly, Corina, here. I want to share this with you because it's just the front page, really. And because I had seen this headline before. Wall Street
Hmm.
gears up for pivotal 3 days for U.S. markets. Deluge of economic data, corporate earnings, and tariffs news could set the tone for the remainder of the year. So, and immediately when I saw this, I picked up that it's going to be one of those moments again that the market is going to shake up. Like what? Like the truth about the economy, what he's done to the economy, how it's destroying the economy,
Right.
is going to be. Uh, it's going to be obvious and it's going to be it's funny. I see again Jamie Dimon just moving on, like let's do something about it. The guy's taking every right, and he is just gonna, I see another weight on his shoulder, Trump's shoulder, pushing him out because he can't. It's,
Yeah.
everything is a disaster, total disaster.
Right. It
Wow.
is. It's a total disaster.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that either. They don't want their businesses
Wow.
to be
So
destroyed.
let's see here what happens next. Okay, so today's the end of July, so August, because we don't know, have control of the deadline, but so and it keeps, right, it's true, we don't know exactly when, but it feels very imminent, like it's already
Hmm.
collapsed. We don't, all the president is talking about Epstein every day, like this is the world we live in. It's
Right.
not working. So how close are we to the, oh, and the other thing that I have to say, he was saying that Russia is saying that he said that Russia now has to have in 10 days they need to stop the war, something like that. And Russia's like, are you declaring war on us? Um, I don't think they're lying about it. Like, I don't think they're pretending to be aggressive with him, but he's just saying that.
Yeah.
Because I see this, like he's trying to play it both ways. He's trying to, like, no, if I act like this way now, not gonna think that I work for Russia. That's what.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
on top of it, there's this too, the threats that he's made against Russia in some way, and that their detention here. So okay, it shows me an image of Trump like trying to drive a truck, but he's like incapacitated, and then there's like 10 people trying to grab the handles,
Hmm.
steering,
Hmm.
like trying to drive, and nobody can stop because he's huge and he's there, and nothing can be done, and the whole thing. And I see that all these people, they're trying to get the control, the wheel of the, what is it called? Is that right? The steering
Yeah. The steering wheel.
wheel. Yeah. Then they look, there's a precipice, right? They have to get out. Everybody has to get out. So it collapses. But I think again, we've talked about
Yeah.
at length about the ending of things, but it's saying there's, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, a lot of this information is going to break open, and when it does, it just crumble. It keeps crumbling from there.
Mm-hmm.
We can't keep talking about this case. It can't keep going. This can't be the focus of America or any other country. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that there's so much going to just burst onto the scene of
Mm-hmm.
information that
Mm-hmm.
we can't stop the bus.
Mm-hmm.
We can't. And it's going to crash. It's crashing.
Wow. Wow, wow. So it's just saying breathe in and out and keep, take self-care and everything because we're watching the collapse.
Yep.
But it's good. It has to happen in order for us to rebuild as a nation, as a world.
Exactly.
So,
We can't try to rebuild on top of this.
yes, yes. So, wow, interesting. Okay. So is that it, Karina? I talked too
Yes.
much.
I
I
think
talked too
I
much.
think no, that's good. Those were the things that came up to us today too. So
Okay, all right.
yeah,
So very exciting. Okay, all right, guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.
yeah.
Okay,
Bye, everybody.
bye,
Thank you.
bye, bye.